Okay, hello again, everybody. Yesterday, my girlfriend and I wanted to go to the movies, and she suggested the movie that's called A Quiet Place Day One. She figured I'd like it because it has to do with aliens, monsters, invasion, all this kind of stuff. All right, so we went to the movie theater. Now, I didn't realize when I went to the movies that this particular film was the third movie in the series. I say film. I don't even know. I gotta get out of that habit because they don't really have film anymore, do they? That's a topic for another time. But anyway, I didn't realize that there's a trilogy of these Quiet Place movies, and it didn't hurt anything because I found out after the fact when I looked up information on it that this is actually a prequel. This story here that I saw comes ahead of the other two movies, so I didn't really miss anything in that regard because this movie works as a standalone movie, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a situation where you saw the other two first. What we have here is in New York City. Um, there's a lead woman who is a terminally ill cancer patient and lives in a hospice, and she's not doing very well. And she happens to encounter one day an alien takeover in the city. It just blows up. There's an invasion. It gets destroyed. There's carnage and rubble everywhere. It's pretty spectacular. The scenes of the devastation are pretty spectacular. Then we got these kind of insect-like creatures, the alien invaders, that are hopping all over the place and killing all of mankind. I didn't realize these creatures already existed in two prior movies, but as I say, this is a first chapter, a prequel, so this is the beginning. It worked. From there, our lead lady is trying to survive this thing, and a lot of this movie has to do with crawling around the rubble, very dark and catacombs and devastated buildings. And for a while, I'm thinking to myself, where is this movie going to go? Are we just going to have endless attacks here and there by these monsters and just constantly trying to get through all of the ruins and trying to survive, and nothing else is it by way of story? So I was kind of bored for a while. But then she meets a young man who is from England, and the two of them together become friends and try to help each other out in different ways, which I will not spoil. And I would say that by the time we got to the last parts of the movie, I started to appreciate the movie more. I like the end. I like what happens. I won't talk about it. But I like the way it sets up that one of the characters manages to get away, so to speak, and the other one does not. That's about all I'll say. Yeah, so I was kind of appreciative of the movie overall by the time it was over. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to go and seek out the other two chapters in this. I may. I heard Emily Blunt is in the other two films. There I go again. The two digitals. I think she's in the other two digitals. Okay, but yeah, it was okay. It was somewhat entertaining. I didn't think there was enough of a story, although I don't know how much of a story you could have in a situation like this. It's more about the two individuals coming together and trying to fight these creatures, and trying to learn things maybe from each other, help each other out in different ways. And on a scale of 4 stars, I can only give it 2.5, which is still above average, you know. It was worth seeing one time. That's about it for now. See you soon, I hope.